Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome back to United View. Welcome to another morning view. Hope you guys are doing good. You guys know already, man. It's registration settings. Let us know where you're watching from, what your weather's like, how you're feeling on this Monday morning. And most importantly of all, check yourselves in. Smash a like on the video. And if you haven't subscribed to United View, make sure you guys do that. That is what it is. As soon as you get in, we've got to do the ground rules. You know this already. Shout out to everyone here on my big Doctor Strange screen. I'm just going to look to the right over there.
Why do you say Doctor Strange screen? Because it's got no real reference to Doctor Strange.
No, well, it does. It does.
Doesn't.
It does, actually. It does, because
Go on.
when I watched that film, because I have watched it,
Yeah.
I can't remember what happens, or I don't know if I finished it, but when I saw him do stuff, he was doing all this stuff on his screen. He was moving things, throwing things.
What screen?
That goes to the side. Well, he's doing that, so it's like a screen, isn't it? Because he can see all these things and he's moving. No. So I'm looking on the other side. So I'm like, yeah. So it's a magic screen, isn't it?
It's not a screen. I mean, if you said my Tony Stark Iron Man screen, I go, well, I'll give you that one because it's called AI interface, and that kind of thing. But I'm not really sure how Doctor Strange.
It's because I like
references.
It's because I like that Doctor Strange could just do that. So it's like I basically feel like when I drag something,
that's kind of what Iron Man does. When Iron Man's putting together like his suits or his technology, he goes, put that bit here. You got Jarvis, boom.
All right.
Friday, move this here.
All right, that's fine. All right. Well, I'll go with Iron Man screen then. I'll change that. I could do that.
You know what I mean?
Well, anyway, on my Iron Man screen over there,
Tony Stark.
Now it's full of people saying Fleck, you're wrong, and Fleck. Now it's gone. I just want to see you saying hello, but now, don't worry, Flex. I get it. See, Ashley, that's what I mean. You guys know, for me, that's a lot for me to, you know what I mean. So
I mean, if I said something about Only Fools and Horses that was sort of kind of correct or slightly not correct, you go, wow.
I'd correct you.
That's not really Dowboy. That was like a Rodney thing. He said that. I'd be like, wow. You get what I mean, and you don't know, but that's kind of right and wrong.
Yeah, no, I take that because listen, the MCU community, them people, they are real. You lot are serious people, so yeah, I have to adhere to the rules. So shout out all my Doctor Strange fans. No need for offend. Didn't mean to offend you, Iron Man fans.
Public apology.
Iron Man fans, Iron Man fans. I meant no disrespect, and now I'm into it. There you go. But back to football. We got a lot to talk about. Erik ten Hag's massive week, huge week for Man United coming up as we come out of the international break really, really soon. One more game left for a few teams. Obviously, some people played their second game yesterday. A brand new Old Trafford update as well. What's going on at Old Trafford? Is there confirmation of a new stadium? What's happened? Man United have released an official statement. So always interested when there's official statements. So we will get into that as well, because I've seen a lot of you in the comments sort of say update about that. Don't worry, we have got that for you. Southampton on Saturday, and international break in general. And also, actually, towards the front of the queue, I want to talk about Marcus Rashford. He released a training video, getting into it. A lot of comments, a lot of people saying, blah, well, I have seen that before, mate, whatever. A lot of people saying, good, get your head right. It's what we want to see, etc., etc. So a load to talk about during the show, Owen.
Yes, indeed. Where do you want to start? Do you want to get the stadium thing out of the way?
Let's do the stadium thing. I think that's just dropped. Let's get that.
Yeah. So it's a very lengthy statement, but like you said, when it comes from Manchester United themselves, quite significant. So they have said Manchester United, Trafford Council, and the Greater Manchester Combined Authority, the GMCA, not YMCA, GCMCA. I was going to. have entered into a strategic partnership to maximize the growth and regeneration opportunities of the Trafford Wharfside area. An advisory team led by an independent director will be appointed to support the ongoing work to develop an ambitious visions for the area around Old Trafford, with a focus on how a world-class stadium can catalyze wider regeneration, bringing social and economic benefits to all of Trafford and the surrounding city region. goes on to kind of say how they're going to try and do this. Says the appointed director and advisory team will ensure alignment with the existing Trafford Wharfside master planning process and the work of the Old Trafford Regeneration Task Force, the group of local leaders and national experts set up in March to explore options for a new or redeveloped stadium at the home of Manchester United. Technical and project management will support will be provided by the advisory team to Trafford Council, GMCA, and Manchester United as planning work intensifies. With the group also delivering important guidance to inform final recommendations of the Old Trafford Regeneration Task Force. And we got some quotes from the likes of Lord Coe, etc., Andy Burnham. But it's kind of just the next step, Flex, in all of this, and saying that all of these different parties are coming together to kind of regenerate the Trafford area. And I don't know, that line there, because again, it's a very lengthy statement, that line there where they say about what's a new or redeveloped stadium. I think at this point, it kind of does feel like everything's moving towards this idea that there would be this new stadium at the kind of heart of it. Because like Show says there in the chat, and that was kind of my reaction to this, I went, okay, so what's the news? What's the actual news here? And I think from sort of deciphering that statement that's come out, or press release that's come out, it looks like it's basically saying all of these important authorities that are in this area are coming together and are now on the same page. And I think the same page is there is going to be this completely, again, regenerated, rejuvenated, wider Trafford area. And at the heart of it looks like it's probably going to be a new stadium, and everything's going to kind of blossom out of that. But it's a very lengthy way of saying that, I think.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I like it because it's transparent. It shows fans. Obviously, if you've got the time to, take a deep dive.
Is it transparent?
It's not pages and pages, but it's basically like you said. It's saying that they're all on the same page. You have to sift through it a little bit to just basically get we're saying this. But I like the fact that the line of communication, and it might not say so. We could leave it and say, "Oh, what's the update then?" But I do like the fact that they're attempting to keep that channel of communication open. And just look at what Andy Burnham says there. The future of Old Trafford is the next chapter of the story. We have a chance now to make sure it's written properly. So like you said, the development's going to happen. It's just about them putting all the little figures in place. And he says that, Greater Manchester has a strong claim to be the biggest footballing city region on the planet. Few places come close to matching our heritage and global impact of our clubs and our culture. And obviously we as Man United fans couldn't give a shit about City, but as the mayor of Manchester, you're talking about, two clubs. For them, the better those two clubs do and how much people come to watch those two clubs in the city of Manchester is Andy Burnham's top priority, not just Man United, but in terms of Trafford and that area, 100% though. And that's basically what it's saying. They're going to regenerate it. It's going to look, this guy saying, another guy, part of the council, says 5,000 homes, more jobs. And like you said, at the epicenter of that, the nucleus of that is going to be a brand new Old Trafford. They haven't said that yet, but that's what it feels like. It's going to be a new stadium.
That's the line in it. Again, it basically is. Look, it's Man United. These separate entities: Manchester United, Trafford Council, Greater Manchester Combined Authority, who are all very important to getting this kind of project over the line, are saying we are partnering together. We are all on the same page. We're going to regenerate Trafford Wharfside. And again, the key line there is, quote, with a focus on how a world-class stadium can catalyze wider regeneration, bringing social and economic benefits to all of Trafford. Basically saying world-class stadium
will make it wicked.
but I mean, again, you could say, well, renovated, but there's only so much renovation you can do to Old Trafford. So the hint there, I think anyway, is we want to build this giant, amazing, state-of-the-art stadium in the center of that, and everything's going to come with it. To your point,
that's it.
When it comes to new job opportunities, new transport links, changes to housing or what have you, and they're basically saying we're all together on the same page. We all want to do this.
And that line there from Lord Coe, the objective of this, that once in a generation project. That's once in a generation is a big term to say, like, you only get this only happens once in the whole of a generation. This is an amazing opportunity. They're not just going to put new paint and put a new stand. Like, this is a once in a generation opportunity. like you said, for the development of a world-class stadium of the North. So, listen, I think personally, Owen agrees. I'm not telling you. I'm telling you now. That means there is a new stadium because I know it. But my feeling of what it's gearing towards, I think it's safe to say.
Jim Ratcliffe's already said it. Like, quite lastly, he goes, "I want a new stadium." You know what I mean?
And you know what? So what I did learn is obviously it's still a very touchy subject. Don't go online. There's no point going on Twitter trying to say you want a new stadium, or you'll just be met with people who disagree with you. That's fine, but then people will get personal. People will just chat rubbish. People will just get in their feelings, and it seems like some people can't have a civilized conversation about it. Some people can, but some people are idiots.
But people just, and I get it with football, especially football over here in in Britain, because there's so much history. Our football clubs are over 100 years old. A lot of the clubs, right? So there's a lot of history, and it's baked into community as well, isn't it? But it does evolve, and with evolution comes new stadiums, new badges, and all that kind of stuff. And whenever that happens, there is this resistance, isn't there? Because it's the concern about the history, and then 10, 15 years down the line there's new history and people kind of forget. I mean, it's always the way it works. Always the way it works.
You've got to create new history. Exactly. And there's pros and cons. Like, the way they do it needs to be really meticulous. That you can't. There's got to be aspects of the old stadium. There's got to be certain things kept. There's got to be certain traditions kept. There's got to be a Stretford End. There's got to be, you've got to encapsulate the Trinity. Needs to be a part, needs to be moved and put where it needs to go. To Sir Alex standard, all these things. There's so much because we've got so much history. Munich Tunnel, how do you replicate that in a new way, or take it from where it is to where it needs to be? All of these things. But that's, again, what the task force job is to make sure that us as fans are, adhered to and the traditions of the club at the same time as, extending it. So, yeah, of course, we'll keep you updated when another update comes that is probably going to be just as lengthy and maybe say the same thing as this one. But we will keep you involved. But that just dropped before we went live, so it was important to address that. Huge week.
Oh,
huge week.
It could be a big week, isn't it? You know what I mean? We were chatting on the phone earlier on. We were chatting about the show, going on what we're going to talk about. And then you kind of forget, because international break isn't over yet. There's still like another game to go for some countries and players and what have you. But you realise, you go, we're playing on Saturday. we're playing on Saturday. That sort of week's, I wouldn't say grace, because it doesn't feel like that, but that kind of sort of disconnect.
A week worth of attack.
Yeah, exactly.
And negativity.
But and then you go, we're playing Saturday. And that game, because it's weird, the international break, when they say it's 2 weeks, because it's not really 2 weeks. I mean, I know it's like it's a week and then the best part of another week. Yeah. So you go, it's 2 week international break. But, again, we're playing Saturday. We'll be once again kicking off the Premier League weekend. My goodness me, how many times we keep doing that this season?
Always us, man.
We keep doing that, because that's Fulham. We kicked off the weekend. Brighton, we kicked off the weekend. We finished the weekend against Liverpool. Now we're kicking off the weekend again.
Man United,
never get.
And that's a 12:30. So TNT are like lovely.
Yes, exactly.
This could have been like not dead rubber, because there's hardly any dead rubbers with Man United. There's always something there. But with the story that's happened now, TNT directors and producers and the people who make the decisions there will be like, Russell Martin, can you please deliver? You know what I mean? So the story is there. It is a big week, man. It is a big week, because I saw, was it United District or another big United account? It might have been the Ten Hag guy. I can't remember who it was just like, yes, what a great week, like, and listed all the good things our players have done in the internationals, like no injuries, the amount of minutes, goals, assists, appearances, to say like, fingers crossed. Obviously, there's still a few games to play for certain individuals, but basically to say that's been a good international break, get them back in. But it's just funny how we view it, because it's like the players needed time. Some players needed time to get up to speed. So good, go and get some minutes. A break is not what you need right now. Some players, obviously, confidence-wise, need to do. Well, all of our players, confidence-wise, need to go do something after that drubbing. Some obviously have stayed at Carrington, rehabilitating. Casemiro, I don't think went on international break, did he? Or did he?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
So he's probably trying to get his head right. Mason Mount's getting back to whatever fitness looks like. Luke Shaw, doing what he's doing, whatever he's doing. So, but it is because it just, the closer it's going to get to that Saturday, and I really do hope it's a routine win, and we go, we was leading up to this big thing, and look, we just won comfortably. I really do hope that, but because it already feels massive, like it feels like around the corner is a serious storm if you don't just go, right, that was a little bit them first 3 games. Let's get a bit of continuity, especially against teams that Man United should be comfortably beating. That's the one. When you play against those teams and you don't comfortably win and it looks rubbish, or worse still, you drop points or you lose, you're going down a hole there. No one's looking for great praise. Like if you beat Southampton, no one's going to go, bloody hell, I'll tell you what,
we're
really
back.
Tough place to go. Yeah. Beat Barnsley after that midweek. No one goes, I'll tell you what, these are just, you're just meant to just get these done. We're not really going to learn anything from these if we get the job done. You know what I mean? But it is about momentum, and you just got to get them W's, like you said, Owen.
I think I remember last time we played Southampton away in Ten Hag's first season. Obviously, Southampton went down. That was like
was that in the green kit, innit?
Yeah, and that was like the sort of 4th game or 5th game. There's a similar period of time.
Bruno scored that wicked volley.
Scored. It was 1-0, but again, it was far from straightforward. You know what I mean? And
that was when Ronaldo, was it Joe Aribo? Or could have been Bass. I can't remember who it was. One of them young defenders. And we went, Ronaldo's struggling, mate.
It was similar circumstances to kind of this, whereas like we had just beaten Liverpool at that point, so it was like, okay, maybe we were sort of turning the corner a bit. I don't know if we played Leicester before or after, but it was early in the season.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
but it was 1-0. It wasn't again straightforward, and my sort of gut feeling, without getting too sort of match previewy, is that I feel it'll probably be the same. You know what I mean? I feel like it'll probably be the same. I do think, and maybe again, this is not playing a game for a couple of weeks. Kind of, it starts to get further away from the Liverpool result. The hopium starts to kick in a bit more. The copium starts to kick in more. And you go, well, we do have good players, and they play well on the international break. I'm Man United and all that. I do think we'll probably win the game, but I think it could be really, really not good. It won't be a good watch. I guarantee you that now. It's not going to be a great watch. It's going to be tight. I'll go like a 1-0 or a 2-1. But on the flip side, I can't. And this is what's mad about Man United, Flex. Yeah. Say we did lose and it was collapse, like complete collapse, whatever. I cannot sit here and be like, I'm really surprised by that. You know what I mean? I can't.
No, but you'd still be just as angry. You'd be like, it's a new low. It's another.
Exactly.
You'd be so angry.
Like when we played. When we played Palace away at the end of last season, and we went into the game knowing we were probably going to lose because we had all the injuries, and it was like Casper and Johnny Evans a centre back, and Johnny Evans
get rinsed. Yeah.
So we knew we were going to lose that game, and then we came out of the game and went, I knew it was going to be bad. I didn't realize it was going to be that bad. You know what I mean? So that's why nothing is really off the table with United at the moment. That's the problem.
No, I just typed in
totally convincing. Maybe that's the only thing that's kind of off the table.
That's off the table. I mean, I just typed in just because I wanted to see who played in that last game when we won 1-0. But Google just threw me up something from 2016. We lost at Old Trafford 1-0 to Southampton. Just because it's a Monday morning, why not?
Was it
our team?
Was it Charlie Austin that scored?
Yeah, Charlie Austin.
I was at that game.
87th minute. Our team was De Gea.
I had never seen United lose.
Smalling, Lingard right wing back, Bothwick Jackson left wing back, Schneiderlin, Fellaini, Herrera in a 10, Martial and Wayne Rooney up top.
Honestly, it's one of the worst games I've ever been to in my life.
At the back was Jose Font, Van Dijk and Cedric. Left wing back Tadic, right wing back Brighton Bertrand, Victor Wanyama and Classy in the middle, Target and Mane behind Shane Long. That's crazy.
Honestly, Flex, again, it was one of the worst games I've ever been to in my life.
off the bench, Romeo off the bench, Paddy McNair off the bench for us.
I'd never seen United lose at that point. I'd been going to United games for like 13 or 14 years. I'd never seen United lose at home. Ever. And I've been a season ticket holder a couple of seasons as well. And that year I was a season ticket holder, and it's one of the worst seasons I've ever watched.
Awful. The football was
that was like
dross,
around
bro.
Christmas where we didn't win a game for like 6 in a row. So, and we barely scored goals.
Kept the ball
as well.
though. Kept the ball well. We used to get like,
oh my God,
55-60% possession every game. Kept the ball well. Style of play, honestly, awful.
Oh my God,
awful.
so bad.
But back to this week, away from just Southampton, like I said, it's not really a preview, but to Erik ten Hag and the decisions he has to make and how big of a week this is, it really, really is massive, because if he's on the wrong end of the result, I know us as a team and a we, but it's not going to be great.
Don't be so
really,
negative,
really is,
Flex. Don't be so negative.
Nah, exactly. But I do think we'll get it done. I do think we'll get it done. It won't be great. But I mean, if you're not beating Southampton, my God, you got to pack up and go home, bro. Serious, bro. Like we have to pack up and go home. International break. I feel like I said, the players that we've needed to go and get some minutes and do what they need to do, we've had that. Let's hope that the second England game, let's hope Kobbie Mainoo, I don't know what Lee Carter's going to do. Will he go again with him? Maybe. Hopefully he mixes it up a little bit so Kobbie doesn't have to play as much. But he does need the minutes as well. So get minutes in Kobbie's legs, but not too many. I think he played like 70 odd, didn't he, the other day? Mm-hmm. Who else is there for us? Is there more games for Portugal have played 2. Netherlands, I think, got 1 more.
Did you say there was 1 more for Uruguay?
Is there 1? Yeah, 1 more for Uruguay. That's tomorrow. 1 more for is there 1 more for Argentina? There must be, innit? Because I think they only played 1.
Colombia, I forgot.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go.
What you call
it? Thingy. 9:30. So yeah, 1 more for them. So 1 more for a few. Bruno and those guys are done as well now. So I just feel like just get back in with no injuries, please. That's the thing. Like we've had so many injuries. We need us to start flipping, getting some consistency with the team. And I hope that Erik starts doing that. Do you know what I mean? Like this consistency of picking the same team every time. Like I know some players, form and this, that, and the other, but we have to have some level of like we know the team. We know the team inside and out. This is our midfield. This
I've already said, I don't think, honestly, that there are going to be that many changes from the team that played against Liverpool to the team that's going to play against Southampton, realistically. When you look at that team and the injuries, I mean, I know we did the show the other day, didn't we, talking about some of the injuries, and they're still on the scroller beneath us about when people could potentially return. But and I know that who are the ones they said could return against Southampton? Luke Shaw,
yeah.
I would be really surprised by that.
It's possible, mate.
Maybe.
Believe.
And I don't know if who else they said, but I think even they said Højlund, Ten Hag himself had kind of put a dampener on him being back straight away after the international break, didn't he? He sort of said, "Well, might take a few more weeks after that." So I don't know if there's going to be any massive changes to the squad in terms of people that are going to be in it. The one addition obviously would be Ugarte. I don't think he starts, even though he has started for obviously Uruguay in that game that he played the other day, and he played 80 minutes. But I still don't know if he's going to start because Erik doesn't like starting new people, unless he's forced to. But in this case, does he feel like he's forced to? I don't know. So I don't think there's going to be huge changes. I think the only thing that might change, obviously, is the makeup of sort of the front three once again, sort of depending on who he picks, whether it's going to be, a Rashford or whether it's going to be Garnacho, whether it's going to be Ahmad that starts. But once again, when that territory, aren't we, we're going, it would be surprising if Marcus Rashford gets dropped. Not necessarily because he doesn't deserve to get dropped, but it's just because it's Rashford and he always likes to hope I can get Rashford back on track.
Always just likes Rashford, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I 100% agree on that. So we have to see what he does with it, you know what I mean? Because he has to stop the loyalties and start going with things. So, yeah. Some interesting news as well, because the transfer window is shut. But it's always exciting when you get journalists sort of talking about the next summer already, whether he's gone to his sources or not. Samuel Luckhurst has done an interesting piece talking about Man United's provisional plans and the plans for next year regarding midfield. And this actually is interesting. Something to get our teeth into. It's international break, so it's nice to hear little news like this. And actually, sometimes before we say what the news is, sometimes this does happen where it happened with Branthwaite, didn't it? Where like way before the initial interest is logged, Man United really admire this player. Like when it gets to a chance where they can bid and make it happen, they will go for him. And that is what happened with Jarrad Branthwaite. So it's not like these things are total bollocks. Like when journalists claim some of these types of players, especially English ones, you have to sort of, what's happening over here? But Samuel Luckhurst says Manchester United's provisional plan is to sign a defender, a midfielder, and a winger next summer with Eberici Eze of interest. He says at least one central midfielder incoming is planned by Man United in the summer of 2025, with Christian Eriksen set to be let go when his contract ends in June. We didn't cash in on him for pittance this year, so that will obviously not going to get a new deal. And Casemiro's future is also uncertain. That will be like that the whole year, to be fair. But yes, interesting here, look, guys. Let's get your thoughts on this. Man United's provisional plan is to sign Eberici Eze.
But when you think about what he's really doing there, to kind of just sort of look at the reality of it, he's just looking at people that are going to go next summer and going, well, that means United are going to go for those positions then. You know what I mean? So he's going, Lindelof, Maguire's going to, well, Lindelof definitely go. His contract's up. Maguire, you would think, will be on the market. So you go, well, they're going to get a defender next year. And who knows what the situation is going to be for left fullback. You know, hopefully we actually finally do something there. So we'll be going for a left back. Midfielder, to his point, well, Eriksen's going because his contract's up, and they'll try and flog Casemiro again. So you'll go for a midfielder. And a winger, well, obviously Jadon Sancho's gone or going. And we've already kind of acknowledged now, haven't we, that we probably need more options in those areas. So it's not really totally surprising. With the Eze part, I saw an interview from Steve Parish, the CEO of Palace, and he was sort of going, I'm really surprised we didn't really have that much interest in Eze. And it was always kind of felt like he was going to go to Spurs or something, wasn't it? Because I remember him, like, he was in a box at Spurs at one point with friends and all this kind of stuff. He's a really good player. I really like him. But I don't know. It just feels, look, obviously the people that are in the recruitment department, this is their job. They'd already be focusing on January and next summer, and that's what they should do, be focusing, that far ahead. But on the flip side of it, so much can change in a year's time with Manchester United when it comes to positions. I mean, like I said, at the moment, you would think just naturally about players that were going to be going, going to be leaving, that you go, okay, well, that makes sense. That they would, that they'd be the positions that Man United are going for. But it's difficult, isn't it? You know what I mean? And especially with United, because now we're interested in Eze. If he dares go anywhere else, that's one that slipped through our fingers. You know what I mean? When it's like, I'm sure actually, if you to any of those sort of top 6 clubs or more, you're probably all interested in Eze for next season, realistically, right?
Yeah.
You could say, like I said, United, Spurs, Chelsea. You could see him go to like an Arsenal. It'd fit into most of the teams, really, actually.
Easily.
Not necessarily like starter, but it fit into any of those squads.
No, it fit into any, and just look, it depends. Like you said, it depends on so many factors. Like, we can't rule out. You never know. Maybe Rashford could leave at the end of the season. We don't know. You don't know. Maybe we go in a different direction. Maybe, I don't know, someone else leaves in the midfield, or the 10, there's a new position there, or the way we play in central midfield. You just don't know. But I think it's safe to say, people in the chat, everyone would have Eze in our team. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of people say right now, I'd have Eze on the left over Rashford right now. Absolutely. 100%. He's a fantastic player. It says he has a release clause for 68 million that could be reactivated. So that's the sort of money you're looking at. Let's just say 70 mil. And if he has another good season, that's a release clause, fair play. But you know what Steve Parish is like. They could find ways, give him a new deal, change this, change that by then. So it's interesting to see. Because Samuel Luckhurst, obviously, like you said, by process of elimination of looking at what the positions are, that's, decent journalism. It's quite easy to do that. But also to claim that, United are monitoring specifically him, would he have gone to a few sources at the club? Would he have just, checked in? He obviously feels confident that that's the one. But also, it's not easy to predict that Eze, like you said, is going to be on the market. So
he
it's
could
one of
go
those.
anywhere, I think. Ezzy could end up going anywhere.
He really can. But if you just look at it in our team, how would he work in our team? Hypothetically, for a bit of fun, he could play on the left very, very easily. He could play in a 10 instead of Bruno, or in an 8 alongside Bruno, in a central area. He can operate off the right hand side, not too often, but the left and an attacking midfielder is what he is. So, mate, it's that type of quality I would not turn down at all. And it still says as well, which this line will just go throughout the whole window with the Branthwaite fee.
Well, you said Branthwaite earlier on. That's why I saw it. I was like, oh, here we go.
It's just the same thing, United will continue tracking Everton centre-half Jared Branthwaite. And to be fair, we shouldn't be surprised because, we put in, 3 bids for him? Was it 3 or 2? It was 2, innit? Was it 2? I think it's 2 bids.
Was it? I forget, but it obviously there was a massive difference in terms of what Everton wanted and what United were willing to pay. But then obviously, if Everton, they've had the really bad start to the season. Let's say hypothetically they did get relegated or whatever.
Yeah.
Then United,
straight in.
United would come back and go, hey, you've got a stadium to pay for. Which, have you seen the sort of discussion about that new stadium on Twitter yesterday?
Yeah, some people don't like it. They're saying it looks like Schalke, and there's one cussing one of the stands.
They were saying, so it was like a picture. I think it might have been like an Everton account. It was like, oh, this is going to be one of the best looking stadiums in the Premier League next season, because the location is very nice. It's like right on the waterfront and all that. The location is beautiful. But someone said it looks like a giant Tesco, and it kind of does.
Yeah,
it kind of. And they sort of put like a big Tesco logo on it.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
it does look a bit superstore-ish.
They're so rude. They're so rude.
But it does.
It does. Spurs runs a big toilet bowl.
It does look a bit superstore-ish. I tell you what, they've got some great selection, and I'm sure.
That's the thing, man. When we build ours, please just don't make it be. Just make it be a straight up. Or that's a stadium. Don't make it look like anything else. I beg. Yeah, I did see that, and you never know, mate. They could be in the Championship the way they're going.
Yeah,
they're definitely going to be down there fighting, but I still think there's 3 teams worse than them. By the time Sean Dyche starts Sean Dyching, he'll probably just about keep them up, but it's going to be a long old season for Everton fans as well. And Jared Branthwaite's been injured.
Keep him up.
Yeah, I think that's that. Yeah. Yeah, when I look at Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton, when the going gets tough, I don't think they're better teams than.
What do you think? Just Sean Dyche will
he'll kick in. He'll kick in. He did the same thing last year. And that was with a points deduction. Actually, when I've watched them in the games, they're 2-0 up against Bournemouth. And he just capitulated. Played well against Brighton for half an hour, capitulated. They just keep doing dumb things.
I did see Jordan Pickford said before that Bournemouth game, he said, well, if we didn't have the points deduction last season, we'd have been on the same points as Bournemouth. And I thought, when everyone talked about how great of a season Bournemouth had last season.
And they were giving them licks. I watched the game. They were fine. They were absolutely fine. And in the 80th minute, they conceded a stupid goal. But
it does have the potential there, doesn't it, just to completely fall apart,
collapse.
because of the stuff that's happening off the pitch of them. It does have potential, because sometimes that does happen with big teams at the start of the season, a bit like that, where you go, oh yeah, but they'll get back eventually. They're a big team. A few seasons with like that, you know what I mean? When they go, oh, they'll get, and then 3 months later, you go, it's way worse than it was. 3 months ago, they've completely fallen apart. So
maybe they do make a change. Maybe they do make a change, but the problem is when you are going through a relegation battle, who would you want to bring in? The answer is Sean Dyche. So there's not many managers out there that are like relegation specialists that I tell you what, they'll have to go far left, like how Glasner came to the league or Areola came to the league. It's like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's a bit left, isn't it? And then they just do good. Joe Fleming says, but enough about Everton anyway. Hold that. He did all the bids rejected and that. Good. You know what I mean? What's this? The Everton.
I think it's relegated.
No. Yeah, I do.
That's why I was trying to.
I don't really care, but yeah. Hope they get relegated. Joe Fleming says, don't know if you've noticed, but Ten Hag always plays his strongest team in cup competitions like Sir Alex. So not a total coincidence us doing well in them. Well, yeah, definitely. He takes every single cup seriously. Be interested in the team we put out against Barnsley.
I was about to say that. It'll be interesting because he might go really strong in that game purely for the sense of momentum. because he does
momentum.
like that. He does. He's a big believer in momentum.
Yeah.
Of like, again, you look at this
Yes.
that first Carabao Cup that we won. He will play the strongest team because he believes that, well, 2 wins in a row, it builds up. You know what I mean? Then you can get that turns into 3, and just keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. So I wouldn't be shocked if he does play a super strong side against Barnsley.
Yeah, I could see that. And also, you've got to look at the luxuries that we don't have. So, like, I know we said, like, when everyone's fit, we've got a bit of depth there, got a bit, got a bit of this, got a bit of that. But the continuity of the team and how the team plays, we don't know what we're getting, when the main players play. So if you start making too many changes and just throw out a team just of players who just do not play, I know you can go as Barnsley, mate. If you have to play Ericsson, Mount, and say, I don't know, Ugarte, let's say, that's enough, would win. But if you change the front three and you went Rasmus, if he's back by then, I don't know. If you went Rasmus, Ahmad, Garnacho, or if you went Collier in midfield, or you just changed it up a little bit. You went Maguire and Lindelof won't be back. Maguire and someone else. Like it should still be enough to beat Barnsley, no matter who it is. But we just can't be taking too much risk. So I can't see him. And like you said, the continuity and momentum, like SLD says, Momentum FC. Nuruddin become the latest member of the UV Members Club. Shout out to you, Nuruddin. Big up to you. And Ray Carl says he's been a member for 40 months, so always showing love. And he says, big up Flex and Owen. I'm there for the Barnsley and FC 20. Would like to give you big flex when I see you. I'd like to give you a big flex if I see you. Yes, big up to you, Ray Carl, for see you there, man. Do you know, I don't even know if I'm going to go to those games, actually. Yeah, I have to wait and see. We'll see what's happening. Maybe they'll be in UVHQ or on the streams. We don't know yet. We don't know. Because big hearts, that. Barnsley, late doors, the commitment. Some people think you get here by luck, but I tell you what, mate, it takes a lot of dedication. And that's a drive it off, and then to get back that late. Ooh.
Well, you got just looking at the actually fixtures coming up. I mean, I do my very best to not look at these, but
yeah, do it. And while you do that, I'll just say there's over 1,500 of you watching, which is wicked. International break vibes. There's 382 though likes. Come on, let's do it. 383 likes. Let's get to 400 very, very quickly so that we can say, actually, let's get to 500. Let's get to 500 because we're basically at 400 anyway. But yes, Owen, the fixtures.
Yes, obviously it's Southampton. Just that period of a couple of days, isn't it? And maybe that says a lot about where we are at the moment. When you go Southampton and Barnsley, and in my head, I'm just going, just get through those games. No funny business. Because then after that, we got Palace away, and after the end of last season, I don't know. Palace are a weird one this season, aren't they? Because obviously they were so good, and like I said, the second half of last season, and Oliver Glasner, which I mean, whilst the appointment was a bit like that was a bit out of left field, it kind of was. I mean, this guy's won Europa League. Like, he's really good. really, really good coach. Bayern Munich wanted him at the end of last season. So it's like, to get anything out of that game, considering, again, how we're like away from home, you just go, no funny business, please, in those first two games.
Done.
No funny business. And also, really, the Southampton game, I still think that is like, just get through that. Just get through that. We're back.
We say every game.
Unfortunately, we're back at that stage already where it's like, if you're expecting this big performance to come, you might be disappointed, because I think it's just at the moment it's just get results, get through the game. But against like a Barnsley, that is when you're going, results kind of not enough in that one. You know what I mean? You have actually got to show something. I mean, there's got to be some reason for optimism. Because look, if we win both of those games, which we should, and I think we will, obviously it will be a bit less negative than it is now, but not a lot. You know what I mean?
It won't do anything, bro.
It'll be back into the territory of glad we won, obviously, but
keep it moving.
Still some concerns. It will take, like, that's why we talk about the run of fixtures going, it's been near enough perfect until the next international break to be like, okay, right. A bit of positivity. Now,
when's the next one? To the 6th of October?
It's after Villa. Yeah, after the Villa game.
Yeah. So again, and there's, like we said, this is why we're nervous. There are some difficult games in that. Do you know what I mean? Crystal Palace, that the first two there were saying, right, you said have to be wins. But if you win them or when you win them, you don't gloat. You don't really
It's not
learn
going to be a big
anything
pat on
from
the
beating
backs there, is there going to be?
by beating Southampton away and Barnsley at home in the cup. You don't learn anything. You don't. Crystal Palace away.
If we got a win there, if you got a win there, you'd be like, right, okay, that is
good
something.
win. Good win. That's a place we got absolutely smashed 4-0 last time we went there, and the year before that we drew. Like it's a difficult place to go to.
Not great. Yeah.
FC 20 again. It's the first game of the Europa League. You got to get a W under your belt. It's as simple as that, and it's the home game as well. So that's a not tough game, but it's Europa League. It's under the lights. It's a medium game, but you should be winning that.
Yeah, got to win
but
that
then Tottenham, Porto, Villa, that trio of games there.
Yeah.
If that goes horrible, like bang, 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 lost, or like humiliated. If that happens, big trouble.
Yeah.
Big trouble. Because the other four before that aren't enough to be like, well, you won them 4, so it's like it's not. If you get bad losses against anyone, because basically what it's saying is, as soon as we play anyone who has a bit about them, and some people are not even that, we just get ruined. We get moved to. And Porto, again, very, very tough place to go to. Villa, extremely tough place to go to. And Spurs at home, for all that we say Spurs are, right now we're very even in terms of what could happen in those games. They're 50-50 games, let's be honest. They beat us last year. We drew against them at home. They're 50-50 games.
Yeah, and that's when you're saying, like, that's why I'm saying, like, you got to go through that period close to perfect. Close. Because I think then if you got through that close to perfect, then I think there would be like, wow, I didn't think that was going to happen. So yeah, that's some positivity around the corner. But it's difficult at the moment because as of just right now, like you said, it feels difficult to look at all of them just because Man United, we haven't put runs together really for a while, have we? So we don't do runs, but it's difficult to see us put a run together. But obviously in Eric Ten Hag's first season, we did put a run of good results together after those first 2 defeats. So. But at the beginning of any run, it's always difficult to see, like, oh, it's going to be a really big run. But he needs one. He needs one. He needs a run if he's going to, if he's going to keep his job. Let's be honest. If he's got that pressure's not going to be on because we still don't know how ruthless and what Ineos's sort of trigger point is gonna be really for all of that, but. Take it game by game first, yeah? Game by game. Southampton first. It's a big week. That's why it's the title. It's a huge week because just got to win that first game. Because if you don't, then fuck the run.
Yeah. It doesn't mean nothing.
It's not even started.
Yeah.
Really like
Manchester Evening News again. Yeah, shit. Manchester Evening News is sort of saying huge injury boost, Shaw, Højlund, etc. Listen, we'll just get there and see, man. So Højlund is also in contention after return after missing the start of the campaign. He's been back on the grass at Carrington in recent weeks, and Ten Hag, speaking ahead of the recent defeat to Liverpool, refused to rule out the prospect of him returning this weekend. So there's a chance Rasmus could be back, at least in the he definitely won't start, but there's a chance he could be back at least on the bench.
Be good to have him on the bench
after. Yeah, it would. It definitely would be good to have him on the bench. And then against Barnsley, maybe give him a start. So let's see. I mean, Barnsley could be a good one for Luke Shaw to get starting if he's back on the bench against, so our team could actually be really strong by default because players need time to get back. So there you go. We'll have to wait and see. Where are we at in terms of likes before we wrap up? How did we do on these super chats here as well?
Got a bunch of gifts.
445. Oh, bunch of gifts. Let's get into this. 445 likes. Let's get over 500 peeps. Let's do it. Let's go 550. I'm trusting you guys to do that. Ray Carl says, he's gifted 5 memberships as well. So not only has he been a member for 14 months himself, he can testify that the perks are worth it.
Yes.
And has gifted 5 of them. So big up to you, Ray. Really generous of you, bro, this Monday morning. Shout out to you. Christopher says, moving forward, our signings need to be press resistant and won't stop running. That's the demand for present day top level football. No passengers. And Show says, what does it say about Eric Ten Hag that third season, 500 million spent? You're saying just get through Southampton and Barnsley. Where are we then? Yeah.
Does a lot.
It does. You're 100%.
But that's also
right,
where we are. That's also where we are.
Exactly. Joe Fleming says, also just to say, not all Man United channels are like family. like United viewers, just saying, not all channels, Man United channels. I don't know. Well, we're just blessed. We're cool. Yeah, family vibes. That's just we are. We always want to see people do well. Always want to collab. Always want to work with like-minded people and get creative and make good content. That's who we are. That's what we stand by. Nuruddin says, has gifted 1 membership as well. So 6 memberships in total donated today. Big up to you guys. Gifted, should I say. Shout out everyone involved. We did, we're just over 500 likes, actually, on the way out. So that's good. If there's any more news, we will bring it to you. Of course, red carpet today. I will let you know of a few absentees, actually, because just come through before I came. Adam's not available this week. Obviously, international break, people with family, etc., etc. And Saeed's in New York at the minute. So New York. So we might have a little bit of a rejig for the red carpet. I'm sure I'll check in with Alice. I think she'll probably be available. And maybe we might have 1 or 2 additions for this week. But we will have our show at 7 p.m. as per usual, red carpet vibes anyway. You will get it. Yes, exactly. So, yes, big up to yourself, guys. Thanks for watching. And we'll catch you again later on. Big show coming. Take care. Peace.